Hi guys, welcome to the realm of astrology. This is your daily horoscope for Monday, 2nd August 2021. But before we begin, I would like to let you know that the monthly horoscopes for your rising and sun signs are up on my channel. And there's also the long-term energy video which talks about the outer planets, Saturn, Neptune, Pluto, which gives you the longer themes that you might be going through. That's also up on my YouTube channel and you can watch both of them. And I also request you to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon before we get started. Okay, so let's talk about what's happening today. And the first thing I want to talk about is the Saturn Sun Opposition. It's come exact by this point. I spoke about this in my weekend video, but I'll just mention it really quick. The Saturn and the Sun opposed, and this was a point where they're still in opposition, you can say. This is a point where before that, Saturn is a planet of hard work, decisions, and discipline, right? And the Sun is our identity and consciousness. So at this point, we are asked to take a decision in connection with our identity, define something connected to our identity. And since they are in an opposition, this can feel quite stressful. So that's the first thing that I wanted to mention, just as a recap of sorts. Okay. Now, soon after this, the moon is going to change signs, and this happens at about 3 a.m. Pacific time, which makes it 3 p.m. Indian Standard Time. If you are on the eastern side of the world, I recommend the Indian time. That'll resonate more with you. And you can see on the chart, the moon has changed signs, right? It has entered the sign of Gemini. And the moon changes signs every 2.5 days. And when it does, the energy in our life shifts in subtle ways. In Taurus, which it was for the past 2.5 days, we were focused on nourishing ourselves in a way, eating good food, spending time in nature. It was a more stable and slow energy as well. But in Gemini energy can be a lot of energy. So this energy is a lot. It's a lot of, I want to do this, I want to learn this, I want to talk about this. It's a very restless energy. It's very overstimulated. So that's the energy for the next 2.5 days. A lot happening. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. That's the vibe. And after this, the moon's going to move on and it is going to square Mars. So let's see that happen. And this is about 6 a.m. Pacific time, Monday morning, which makes it about 6 p.m. Indian Standard Time. And the moon at 2 degrees is squaring Mars, 90-degree angle, right? And a square typically represents friction and change. So at this point, there can be some friction between the moon and Mars. The moon is our emotions, our inner heart and soul. And Mars is our drive, our courage, our willpower, how we take action. Mars is also a warrior. It's a planet of aggression as well. So when they square like this, emotionally, we can feel like, okay, I don't have the drive to do this. I don't have the willpower. I need to summon that willpower to get this done. So emotionally, one can feel like that. Or it can feel like, it can be a very frustrating feeling, right? Moon square Mars. Because the moon is our emotions and Mars is anger and frustration. In a square, this can lead to anger. This can lead to frustration. So just be mindful of this energy and let it pass. And it will pass, because the moon moves really fast. And let's talk about the next thing. So the next important thing happens in the evening. And the moon is going to conjunct the North Node. This is about 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, which makes it about 7 a.m. Tuesday morning India time. The moon and the North Node have conjuncted. Right, and North Node is an energizer of sorts. It energizes any planet that comes in contact with it, and in this case, the moon, our emotions. So this can be a magnification of our emotions. It can be that we feel emotionally charged at this point. And in Gemini, this can be extremely overstimulating, a lot of stimulation. So a lot of energy of doing this, wanting to do that, wanting to know this, wanting to know that, wanting to talk about this, wanting to talk about that. Basically, a lot of restlessness can also be there. So it becomes important to take time out to kind of calm oneself, because this is a lot of stimulating energy, right? And then soon after this, actually at this, you can say at this point only, Mercury and Chiron are in a trine, 120-degree angle, which is positive. Now this is a moment where, first of all, Mercury is our mind, it's our thinking, it's our communication, it's our day-to-day routine, it's habits, it's job, it's health, it's a lot of things. And Chiron is our wound, right? But it's also our healing. That's what Chiron is, but the healing that comes with Chiron is bittersweet. But in a trine, I feel like this alignment will bring some sort of healing connected to the recent past, because Chiron here is retrograde. Some sort of healing to our mind or any other Mercury related thing, which could be thinking, communication, social media, our routine, our habits, our job, our health, a sort of healing. And that has its roots in the recent past, because Chiron is retrograde. And at the same time, we still have that intensity of the North Node conjunct the moon, like the lot of energy connected to our emotions that's still on. Okay, and then soon after this, let me move up the chart. Soon after this, we are going to have another positive alignment take place, and that happens at about, you can say, 11 p.m. Pacific time, which is 11 a.m. Tuesday morning India time. And that is that Uranus here is in a trine with Venus, 120-degree angle. I'm going to spend a moment talking about this, and then we'll talk about one more aspect for today. So last month we had Venus square Uranus, a 90-degree angle, and that was a sudden, unexpected, stressful change to Venus things, love, relationships, finances, self-worth, skills, values, right? We were asked to change something, and all our Venus things were kind of stressed out at that point. Why? Because Venus last month not only squared Uranus, it opposed Saturn. So it was a lot of intensity we felt towards Venus things. However, now what's happening is Uranus here is in a trine to Venus, which means it's a positive alignment connected to Venus. All our Venus things, love, relationships, money, finances, projects, self-worth, values, skills, will go through a sudden, unexpected change that will push us more towards our authentic, unique self. But it's not going to feel stressful. It's going to come in naturally. It's going to come in organically. It's going to just feel like it's falling into place on its own. But always remember that we've done the work for this, right? When Venus squared Uranus, we did the work then. We may not have realized it, but that's when we did the work. We laid the groundwork last month for this alignment to take place, where all that work we did last month is seeming to make all Venus things fall into place. So that's happening at about midnight, 11:30 p.m. Pacific time, about noon India time, next morning, Tuesday morning. And at the same time, we have the moon here in a trine to Saturn, 120-degree angle. And Saturn is a builder, right? It's a builder of sorts. Yes, it's a planet of hard work, decisions, discipline, all those things, but it's also a builder, and the moon is our emotions. At this point, we might take an emotional decision that again comes naturally. We might align our emotions, and I think this is more of what it is. We might align our emotions with our long-term goals, because the moon has just conjuncted the North Node, right? Yes, it energized our emotions, but it also could be that our emotions began to fall in sync with our goals. And every month this is going to happen. So every month, as our emotions get energized, we might fall more in sync with our goals. The North Node represents where we are headed, our goals. And with the trine, let me clean up the chart. This entire energy is in a trine to Saturn, right? And Saturn has been helping us build towards our goals, which are for the long run, for months now. And with the moon trining that energy, even our emotions are falling more and more in sync with that long-term vision that we have, with our long-term goals. And with Saturn, this could very well be because we take an emotional decision. but it's not going to be stressful, like a stressful emotional decision. It'll just kind of happen organically because they're in a trine. So a lot of positive alignments in the evening, and I'll just mention them once more. Venus in a trine to Uranus, a sudden positive unexpected change to Venus, things, love, relationships, money, projects, finances, self-worth, value, skills, for which we did a lot of work last month. The moon conjunct the North Node in a trine to Saturn, our emotions falling more in sync with our long-term vision, our long-term goals, which Saturn is helping us build for months on end. And Chiron retrograde here in a trine to Mercury, a healing to Mercury things, communication, thinking, mind, social media, immediate environment, peer groups, siblings, health, job, day-to-day routine, diet, exercise, any one of these things. So the evening is extremely positive on Monday, right? But in the morning, as we enter Monday morning, we still have the Saturn Sun opposition in the early hours of the morning. We also have the moon changing signs into Gemini, which can bring a lot of stimulation. And the only stressful alignment that happens today is the moon and Mars square, which happens at about 6 a.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. India time, which can bring about some frustration, some anger. So that's all the energy for today. Now I will give the underlying energies that we deal on a daily basis, because that's important, right? A day can be positive or negative or stressful or relaxed, but these are the energies that stay with us. So sometimes we feel those energies more acutely than, say, the energies that are happening in the day. So the first thing I will talk about is the Uranus Saturn square of 2021. We are seeing this energy after 21 years. So this is a rare thing. And now you can see the orb is big, right? 10 degrees, 14 degrees, there's a 4-degree orb. So the intensity of this energy is much less than it was in the month of June. Okay. And this energy is asking us to get rid of old things, old structures that don't serve us, and embrace the new. It's asking us to change. It's asking us to embrace our unique, authentic self. And since these planets are squaring, this energy can feel stressful. That's the first thing, and we'll feel this all of 2021 and even 2022. The second thing is that we are building a cycle right now, a cycle that started in December of 2020 with the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction. They met up at 0 degrees of Aquarius and began a 20-year cycle for which we will lay the foundation for the next 2 years. So right now, as we change, as we get rid of the old, as we embrace our unique self, we're also building that foundation for the next 20 years. And the third thing that we are also building is another cycle that started in Jan of 2020. And this cycle started after 38 years. It ended a cycle that started in 1982 and began a new one, which changed our material reality in a very profound way. And it was the Saturn-Pluto conjunction of 2020 Jan. And we will build this cycle as well for the next 2 years, understand it more. And that's all the background I will give, the underlying energies, the underlying currents. And now I will pick a card for today, and then we'll close out the reading. I'm going to go with the top card. It says new life. And I think I love this card for today because we are constructing a new life all of 2021, right? That's what this is, getting rid of the old, embracing the new, building these cycles that started after many, many years. So we are constructing our new life. And today is a reminder that, yes, keep constructing that new life because we are building it. It is here, but it requires work. So I think that's the energy for today, a reminder that we are in a new life. It's already here, but we are building it for the next 2 years. It's not fully as it should be yet. And this is also a great card for a Monday morning, don't you think? So that's all I'll leave you with. Hit the subscribe button and the bell icon, and I will see you for the daily horoscope tomorrow. Bye.